Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on a 2004 Mazda RX8. It's a tiny little sports car looking thing. It's got a little rotary engine, 1.3, and it's also got a leaking radiator. So that's what I'm gonna swap out today. So thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Let's get started. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this little cover heel, and I'm gonna have to try to remove all this caulk up front here so I can get access to the top of the radiator. It's kind of at an angle underneath, so hopefully I won't have to take off the bumper or anything for that. I'm using these special little pin grabbers right here. Kind of what the pins look like. You gotta kind of just pull them in half and they come out. Battery cover, it just lifts right out. All right, so this little battery cover, I thought it was gonna be one piece, but it's not. It's held with one bolt down there, but the cover comes in half, so I guess you gotta spread it apart to overcome these little tabs that are holding it on there. So it comes out like that. I gotta get this lower piece off, kind of figure out how I'm gonna do that. Looks like it's held in by two more bolts. I need more access to stuff, so I'm gonna take off this air intake next. Disconnect the mass airflow sensor. All right, so how I did that was I loosened this clamp, pried it away from the intake here, and then just lift it up. It came right out. So it's gonna come out one piece just like this. And then next, I'm gonna take out these bolts, and then this cover should come off. And of course, I'm gonna have to pull this out of there. Oh, looks like that came out pretty easy. There we go. All right, so you can see from this vantage point now I can disconnect the fans, because you're gonna have to do that, and you're probably gonna have to take the fans down with it. So now that I can see the radiator clear as day, I am going to pressurize it one more time just to triple confirm that it's the radiator. So, all right, so you can see right now I got it pressurized. I don't know if you can see right there by a little elbow. It's kind of yellow right there. Well, that's where it's coming from, because it's constantly dripping out of there. You can see where it's leaking pretty bad. Let's see if I can get my camera in there. Now I'm going to lift it up in the air. I got to take off this cover. Start taking off these bolts right here. And I'm going to have to take out these on the side. And looks like one. All right, well, much to my surprise, you can see how big this piece is. Get a better shot of it. Anyways, I had to take it out with the side piece right here. And it's got 3 bolts that are holding it. Well, it was a plastic bolt here, and then 2 actual physical bolts, and then I had to remove some wire harnesses. You know, I use this tool to pop them out of place. So it's going to be the same on the other side, so I'll kind of show you what it looks like. Well, you can see the radiators all behind there. Take that bolt out up there and there, and then have to get this. Yeah, it's gonna look like this when it comes out. These ones had these little push pins, and they're very difficult to get to. I just pulled on it till it came out. It's just a plastic push pin. Fine of it. There's a drain plug right here. It's gonna be kind of like where this AC condenser is mounted, like just right there to the right of it, if you're looking at this thing. So I did actually kind of had to wrestle with getting this thing free, because it's plastic, and I'm using a number 3 Phillips to get it out. And boom, there we go. All right, while the coolant is draining, this is where I'm gonna take advantage of it, and I'm gonna start disconnecting the fans right here. All right, kind of a little update where I'm at right now. I took this thing out the way, and what I did was I had to, disconnect it from here, and then I had to unplug this low coolant sensor right here. Now, anyways, when this thing came off, and I was pretty gentle, but it broke the top of the piece of the radiator off, so I had to dig it out from the inside. Is a piece of it right here. So, well, also what I did is I used bungee cords right here to kind of pull the harnesses out of the way, and this, this radiator hose. So then also there was this little air ducting here. Let's see a better shot of it. This little air ducting right here. That was inside the this hole right here that's for the fans, and so I just popped it right out. It just pulls right out. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, since it's automatic transmission, I'm going to take the lines off. If you can see down here where the transmission lines hook up, right here, I took them off from there. I'm just gonna take them out with the radiator like that. That is so much easier to get to. Back in here, there's gonna be a couple of mount nuts right there. Then there's one on the other side. It's behind this little air horn deal. But you gotta move it out the way and get behind it. I don't know if you probably didn't get a good shot of it, but let's see if I can get a better shot of it. Anyway, there's another one there. Once you get the new radiator, you can kind of see where it kind of mounts up. So we're gonna have the fans mount on, let's see, no, the fans will mount, yeah, on this back side, condenser on the front, and there's one that's gonna mount right here and on the other side. So you kind of can look at it, give an idea where everything's gonna be at. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use this bad boy right here. This is a little 10mm swivel. I put on the end of this thing. I almost dropped it. I put on the end of this thing, and then basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of feed it back here, get it at the angle I need, and then take it off. And you can see it's kind of coming. I'm gonna be careful, I don't drop it. I'll use a magnet to get it, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. I was able to get no problem. Use a magnet. AC line, if you follow down, kind of supported by the fan shroud, you got to make sure to disconnect that before you start yanking on the radiator to get down with the fan shroud. Alright, tell me later. I'm going to use a wrench on that one. So, the mount bolts for the brackets, you got to take down the 12mm. Getting closer. Fully disconnect these transmission lines. Wiggle this out here. Back forth wiggle. Guess it's kind of tighter than I thought it would be. There we go. The radiator hose is caught up. There we go. Alright, so there we go. It's out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer all that stuff onto the new one and slide it in. So, too bad. I want to put that in there. And this won't go down all the way because the transcooler line is in their way. So what I'll probably do is I'm just gonna loosen them and then spread them that way. So I'll run the lines kind of like a little bit different than what it was. But all right, now it's time to stab this bad boy. Wish me luck. At a time. There we go. We're working on it. I think we're good. All right. Now, got these little bolts on top. Make sure they're on there. Hey, I think it's it. I'm gonna have to reclock the transmission lines, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it yet, so I'm gonna put the mounts on first. So once I get the mounts on, then that way I kind of know how I'm gonna do that. So I'm hooking everything back up. As you can see now, I have all the wires hooked back up where they should go. I had to put a zip tie here for this one, but everything's hooked up, grounds, wires. I put this back on for the reservoir, and everything's in there. The upper radiator hose is in there, lower one's in there. That's what I did with the transmission lines. So as you can see, everything's back on there except for the air intake and stuff. So, but now since I have all the coolant parts in, I'm gonna add coolant and I'm gonna pressurize it to make sure I have no leaks before I get all crazy with putting everything else together. So the last thing I want to do is put it together and find out I have a leak. All right, so I'm putting the air cleaner back in right now. You can see I've rinsed it out because I had a bunch of coolant in it. So just kind of goes in there. These wires right here, don't forget, they pop on there. So they secure them from rubbing. And I got 2 bolts here. So I'm trying to get this piece on right here. So sometimes that helps. So there we go. Don't forget to plug in the sensor. Gotta put the battery on. Alright guys, you can see I got it all back together. The battery, the air box, reservoir. So now all I gotta do, this little cover deal. I'm gonna put the cover on and yeah, it should be good to go. I'm gonna lower it, take it for a spin. Everything back together, got back from a road test, it runs great. No leaks, no nothing. So I'm very happy with the way it turned out. It's the very first time I've ever done this job, so there's a learning experience for me too. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. If you have a comment or a question or something, please let me know. And on the next one. Peace.